Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. Still in our series, Planning Your Off-Season. We're going to talk about macronutrient percentages for the off-season. So I just had a really good national level competitor who really wants that pro card. Adam, hire me. And she wants to start by transitioning into ketogenic dieting as kind of a lifestyle. And there was a little bit of a miscommunication I'm still in the process of sorting out, because I thought she wanted for the next contest prep with me to do that. But since we're entering the off season, it did not even dawn on me that she would want to start keto now. So I'll come back to that. Don't even worry about addressing that right now. But what is your goal in terms of maybe macronutrient percentages for how much protein, carbs, and fat when you're going to maximize, get to that end of the off season? Where do you want that food intake to be?
Yeah, well, we want to be putting on muscle. So a lot of our percentage is going to go to carbohydrates, of course. One big thing with fat is, I try not to go below 20%. You can really back yourself in a corner where you're just like, oh, all I can eat is rice cakes because they're low in fat, or, brown rice. So in an off season, I never want a client to feel like they're backed into that corner. So I might let fats go up a little bit percentage wise. And then that's also nice to have when you start prep. You can kind of flip that switch where you lower the fats, maybe even bring carbs up to start the prep, or just get into a better state of, calories and macros for actually shifting into your contest prep. And then, of course, always starting at protein, making sure that they're at least getting, 0.75 per pound of body weight. Maybe even higher in the off season. I know I like to bring protein up in the off season a little bit as well. So that's obviously going to change those percentages versus in season dieting to some degree, but we want to maximize that anabolic potential. And one reason and one way we do that is raising carbs significantly.
So I may have found something we disagree on. It's only taken 100 episodes to do this. But so when I get a client into the off season and we have more carbohydrates, more calories, the potential for an anabolic environment is just a given. You're potentially always there. So to me, that's a place where you can back off of protein a little bit, because toward the end of a contest season, where they're getting leaner and leaner and leaner, I may be nudging up. I mean, we know through research that 2 to 2.5 times the RDA of protein is kind of the ceiling. That's the best you can do. There's not that much evidence that more is better. 3 times the RDA, and this is still alive. I mean, so you guys don't even have to do the math. As a 180-pound guy, 3 times the RDA would barely be 150 grams of protein for me, maybe not even that much. So you might have people already at 4 times the RDA, Adam, and then all of a sudden in the off season, to me, that's a time where we can kind of back that off a little bit, but I'll let you respond to that in a second. I also like to move fats up to a place where you just have more options. If you get up to 25 or 30% of your calories from fat, that is really plenty. Again, for somebody on a 2,000, 2,200 calorie diet, 30% of your calories from fat is up close to 80 grams of fat a day. And that can be done. You start eating some beef and some things like that. I mean, but you almost have to want to eat a lot of fat to go higher than that. So that's kind of where I range, Adam. And then, like you said, I'm funneling the rest of calories into carbohydrates so that we can really create more metabolic potential and anabolism. Correct.
Yeah, I know the newer study is on protein spread or protein change theory. They're finding that a bump up in protein can actually result in some additional protein synthesis and better anabolism, but it's very short-lived, so it's not something we do for a very long time at all.
Yeah, just like caffeine, your body gets used to it. You adjust and adapt, and so if you're going to consistently increase protein to levels your body doesn't need, that becomes your baseline. And just like insulin sensitivity, you get used to that. It doesn't give you any extra benefit. So to stay down to a more reasonable protein level and then have some spikes occasionally. I exactly do that, Adam, where, let's say we're in a cycle of training. We're really trying to hit strength. We're really pushing toward the end of a 12 or 16-week strength cycle. And that's when, even in the off season, I may maybe scaling protein up for that extra recovery. So all kinds of reasons why, guys, you still want to be objective and accurate with your tracking, so that you can make sure in the off season, when you're doing the hard work of making progress, you really know what you're doing to support that. So thanks, Adam. Great conversation on that. And we're a couple episodes away from wrapping up the series on planning your off season, guys. So a couple more and we'll be at the end.